Hello everybody, it is Ebontis, and once you finish the campaign, the map's going to make a little bit more sense. You're going to end up here in Moxxi's bar, you're going to have a couple things to do post-campaign, and then you're kind of left to your own devices. My goal with this video is to give you guidance of what to do, kind of the order to be efficient in things. If you want to be efficient, that's up to you, and some weekly things to look out for doing to kind of get the most out of each week that you're going to be playing, and also some stuff that the game doesn't exactly tell you, but they do a good job of guiding you once you know where to look. So let's jump into what you're going to be doing post-campaign in Borderlands 4. All right, so once you finish the campaign, whether you're 25 or 35 or whatever level you are, you want to get to level 50, and you want to get there early. Main reason is, when you're eventually working on your build, you're going to get these things that have firmware on them, like bullets to spare. You can take bullets to spare, take it off of that, and put it onto, say, this grenade. The thing is, once you do that, it's permanently there, so you kind of super glue it there. But also, you're going to want to save those like cool set bonuses for your top level gear. So it really does benefit you a lot to get to level 50. So then when you're running around killing and farming bosses, working on gear, working on builds, you're working on gear and builds that is at max level, which means you're going to be using that for quite some time. So for me, you have the option to run around and do whatever you want. You can work on stuff for your SDU. You can pick up deadbolts. You can work on echo logs or vault symbols. And again, I do recommend doing some of that stuff as you're going around. Like, for whatever reason, if you're going through and you see, hey, there's a propaganda speaker pretty close to the safe house I just started at. Well, that's 20 SDU points, and I can get more bank storage because I need to shove a bunch of stuff in my bank until I get to 50 and start making builds. I understand that. But my recommendation, instead of just roaming around and doing side quests that give you some experience here, maybe some gear, even some purple experience, you don't know what this mission is going to entail. Should you do it eventually? Sure. But early on, if you're just trying to get to 50 quickly, this mission could take you driving all over the place, talking to multiple people. Who knows what you have to do? For me, what has been much quicker, they're bounties. And specifically, it's the bounty or vile bounty from the contract board. Bounties are easy. You pick it up at a safe house, whichever safe house you're at, and then it's going to tell you, go here and kill this one specific enemy. So I go here, I kill Grime, I get purple experience. That's it. Kill one enemy. And if you, use your big ability, drop some ordinances, and you just go in there and nuke the thing, guess what? It's going to go pretty quick, as opposed to taking this purple experience, same thing, but I could be traveling around doing multiple things. Who know what your side quests are going to have you do? This is go kill an enemy and you're done. If you see a vile bounty, that's even more experience, possible legendary drop, purple cash, and Eridium. And again, yeah, the enemy's probably going to be a little bit harder, but guess what? It's going to be a really quick way to get your experience up. Now, the other thing I will tell you is combining a couple of contracts to make things efficient. This one over here is Squeet. I specifically know this one is a creep. Main reason I know it is because, like, if I come over to the contract board and I see a bounty or a vile bounty, you want to look at the projection's shape. So see this one, this is a bounty. This thing looks like what I would kind of call like a triceratops or like a bear / rhino, something like that. It's a wild horn. And you'll notice this down here is a patrol. Also very similar shape. It's a wild horn. This one's very simple. Kill 10 wild horn. Sometimes it'll say collect, and it might be like, looks like a hoof or an antler or a spike or something. It says, hey, if it's collect something from wild horn, and you know this guy's a wild horn, it means you're going to go to an area that has the wild horde spawning. The biggest annoying thing for me about patrols and collections are, I could look at a map and I could drive around for a while, and I could completely never bump into wild horns because I don't specifically know that they spawn maybe by this lake or wherever, unless you have like a map that tells you all these things. For me, what's been easier is go to a safe house, and you have 17 total spots. You have 14 safe house, and in your 3 faction towns with contract boards, somewhere you're going to be able to teleport around to either find bounties or vile bounties. Do those as many times as you can. Just teleport to a new one. Hey, this one's here. Travel to the bounty location, kill the enemy, quick experience, go to the next one. It's really fast. It's really efficient. And the only time I would ever say is combined is if you see a bounty that matches a patrol, then pick up the patrol because you're going to be in the same area, and there's likely going to be about 10 of them around there. Or if you see a collection, and this is kind of what I did for my contracts. I know that Squeet sounds weird. I know this one was a creep because the projection shape matched the creep for patrol. The other thing is, I went to another location I was teleporting around making this video, and I saw another one that said collect creep brains. So I'm going to be killing creeps anyway. Hopefully I get 10 of them. If you don't and you're like, I can't find any more creeps, guess what? It's not that big of a deal. The bounties are just so quick. It's honestly more efficient to focus on those. But for me, if you can pick up bounties, and if you have patrols and collections that either one of those that might match a bounty, sure, pick those up. But if they don't match them, skip them. Like, if this board only had this vile bounty, this is one of those, like, order guys that are the big kind of shielded enemies, and the only other thing on this board was patrol for wild horns, I'm not going to pick up the patrol because that's not going to match. I'm just going to go to the vital bounty, kill him, teleport to the next safe house, and I'm good to go. That's quick experience, nice, fast, and efficient. And that's what works. You travel around, you're killing a bunch of bosses, they might actually drop some cool loot, you're getting quick experience, you're moving around the map, and as you move around the map, you might do some other stuff as you go. You're like, hey, I'm traveling pretty close over here, I'll pick up this capsule. Or, hey, I can grab the survivals cache if I get up to level 50. That type of thing. But mostly what I would say is you've got so many different safe houses and town contract boards to check. Teleport around, check them all, try and do as many as you can, efficiently as you can, but focus on the bounties and anything that matches those. The only thing I would say, I think I said this already, if it says acquire, that's the thing you pick up and move, skip that. If it says trace, you have a proximity location to go to, just interact with the item there and it's done. Trace, I would also pick up, those are really easy to do, but acquire, just skip those, they're terrible. So that's how I got to 50, and then now that I'm at 50, everything else I go do has a chance to give me good loot. So now that you're 50, hopefully, or at least getting there, here's what you do next. So whether you get to 50 quickly and efficiently, or you just do it at your own pace, it's up to you. The other thing you're also going to be wanting to work on is getting to Ultimate Vault Hunter, basically 5, but you're going to start out at 0. When you get done with the campaign, you're going to have your next mission is Zane's firmware mission. You learn about firmware, the firmware machine, and how that works. Then you're going to learn about Maurice's black market. I'll tell you guys about that in just a minute. That's the legendary vending machine. Then you're going to do the big Encore. Tell you about that in a minute as well. And then you're going to do the first Wildcard mission with Lilith. Now, once you get done with that mission, you're going to be Ultimate Vault Hunter 1. Now, up here, you're going to see, hey, Ultimate Vault Hunter 2. You're like, oh, can I just talk to Lilith and do Rush the Gate and instantly be at 2? You can't do that. You have to do every one of these boss kills before you do the next Ultimate Vault Hunter. Now, the nice thing is they're pretty clear. Kill Bramblesong in Ultimate Vault Hunter 1. It's in Terminus Ridge. Within Terminus Ridge, it's in Stoneblood Forest. So you have, like, the main biome. Then you've got the sub-region in that biome. And then you've got, it says, Abandoned Auger Mine. So if I truly go to Terminus Ridge, and then I go to, it's up here, I think. So we've got Stoneblood Forest within Terminus Ridge. And then the Abandoned Auger Mine, I know, is up here. So I went all the way through here, got to the end, and guess what I found? It was Bramblesong. So you kill them, you get your challenge done, and that's what you're going to do. So go into Missions, Challenges, Ultimate Vault Hunter, and this is your checkbox. So I got to go do Biobreak, Omega 86, no point awarded. When these 3 are done, then I can go do the next Wildcard mission. Once that's done, you're Ultimate Vault Hunter 2. Then you got 1, 2, 3, 4 missions to do. Once those are done, then you can go do 3, and it goes up to 3, then 4, and then 5. That is how you work through Ultimate Vault Hunter. That's what you're eventually going to want to work on progressing through to get to the highest tier. So again, so your legendary drops are higher, the enemies are more difficult. You're like really getting just like the best drops possible. That's the goal to get to Ultimate Vault Hunter 5. So after you get to 50, start working these into everything else you're doing so you can keep progressing through the Ultimate Vault Hunters. You might want to work on farming some gear so you're a little bit stronger. You might want to work on getting some other stuff, but make sure these are always like something you're aware of and working on. That way as you're moving around the map, and if you especially get close to one, maybe go knock it out while you're there and keep making your progression on Ultimate Vault Hunter. So this is where your list is at, and this is your checkbox to get from Ultimate Vault Hunter 1 all the way up to 5. So you're working on getting to level 50, or you're already there. You're working on increasing your Ultimate Vault Hunter. That can take some time to go through. Maybe you're doing side quests. Maybe you're working on things for your SDU points. I do recommend working on those sporadically between everything else, because as you level up, you're going to be banking a lot of gear, especially with different firmware bonuses, so you can start saving up all of those different pieces to eventually hopefully make yourself your perfect set of firmware of like 3 of one piece, 2 of another, so you can really have like a beast build later on in the game, especially once you're level 50. But you've also got some weekly things that are going to be on a Thursday weekly reset. I say Thursday as in like American time. I don't know if that's like where that falls around the world, but again, just figure out when weekly reset is. And you got 3 things. 1, it's going to be your weekly wildcard mission. Guaranteed legendary weapon. This is why when you get up to level 50, it's really good to be there before you do this mission because then you're going to get a guaranteed legendary weapon. Also, a crap load of experience, money, and Eridium. So, very good. Going to be normal difficulty for wherever you are. The modifiers will probably make it a little bit of a slog, but you'll get through it, and it's a guaranteed legendary. And it's probably something a little different than what you usually get from farming some of these bosses. So, it should give you a little more variety. Definitely something you don't want to skip. So, wildcard mission, you can literally start it from like right here. So, just begin your mission and go. Pretty quick and easy. Second one is going to be Maurice's. I'm probably saying that wrong every time. Sorry. The black market. You probably saw it once you finish the campaign. You see that you can buy it for $1. Basically, the way it works is somewhere on this map, it's going to spawn every week after reset. So 2 days, 14 hours. That's when a reset will be. Somebody's going to bump into this thing, and you basically have to bump into it. It could literally be right over there, and it would be half camouflaged. You have to get really close for it to pop up. When it finally does, then you can see it and you'll know where it is. But my guess is check Reddit, check a video. Somebody's going to post this thing every time on Thursday once it's like found, and then everybody should be able to find it. But whoever bumps into this thing, more power to you. Like, I don't know how anybody even bumped into this thing because there's not really much up here. And then you kind of come through this area and it's here. Like, I don't even know how you would accidentally get to this thing. So this is the vending machine. What's going to happen is when you interact with it and then when you come back out, you're going to be on a cooldown. So give me a second before we go in here. But basically, every person is going to have a different vending machine rolls. You're going to have one base item up top with different rolls on it for 4 different ones. And you're going to have one base item on the bottom 4 rolls. So you get a total of 8 to look at, 4 of one thing, 4 of another. Now, for your entire week, those base items are going to be the same. But during the week, those rolls are going to change. So let me explain what I mean. So like here, for example, I might have these 4, and these 4 rolls have a chance to potentially switch to something else in the Queen's Rest pistol variation. So they're all going to be Queen's Rest pistols. Notice this one's radiation. These are all kinetic. Maybe I could come back here the next day and this one could be cold or fire. Who knows what variations they're going to be, but they're going to be kind of all over the place in the mix. Same thing up here for your energy shields. Might have something cool, might not. Once you know what it is, I would just say whenever you log in, check it every day. It's also not a bad thing once you start saving up a bunch of money. If you see something that has a cool firmware that you know you probably want to take off of there and use somewhere else later, this is a good way to do that. So you can always inspect, come back out and kind of see what the set bonuses are going to be. But, you know, maybe if you buy one thing, then it's on cooldown. So just be aware. If you buy something or back out, this thing is on cooldown for about 6 minutes. So you're going to have to wait a little while, go do some stuff and come back. But just know, check this thing every day because it might be the Pandoran memento all week long, but maybe there's a roll that I eventually find later that's like kind of awesome, and it wasn't there the first day. So check it every day. You log in and just know that like your rolls could be, your friend also might have different rolls. If you have a friend that's playing and maybe their vending machine has some really cool stuff, see if you can have them log in and join their game, and maybe you can get a good or at least a decent roll of whatever they're selling as opposed to what you're selling and vice versa. So this is Maurice's Black Market. Pretty cool vending machine. Definitely going to be a fun one to check on kind of a weekly basis at a minimum, but sometimes daily if you get a really good thing. The final weekly thing that you're going to be doing is the Encore. So if you check the Encore, it's Core Observer. So first you might need to know where that is, but I'm sure some internet piece will tell you. This one down here is in the Fade Fields in the HAL, and this Core Observer is actually in here through the Black Line Bunker. So if you actually see where that thing's telling you to go, I got to go through the bunker, travel all the way through here. It's underground, go there. And again, the big Encore is basically just another Moxxi's Encore machine where you can spawn the boss over and over. The difference for the big Encore is it's going to be harder. So more health, more shields, that kind of thing, potentially change to the fight. It's also going to cost you Eridium. So that's why doing some of these quests and bounties and stocking up Eridium is going to be beneficial. So you can actually spend some of it. Now, it is about 100 per run at the lower level I was at. I don't know if it's 100 at level 50, so forgive me if it's not. But even then, I can only do this 160 times. If some of you guys get to farming bosses, you can farm bosses a lot. So I would say, whatever the big Encore is, you might check what the loot table is for that boss and see if it's something that's going to help you. And also, I would not spend your Eridium on the big Encore until you are level 50, because you're just getting stuff that you're probably going to outlevel anyway, and it's likely not going to be worth it. So make sure, as the faster you can get to level 50, the faster you're guaranteed a level 50 legendary here. Definitely check the black market vending machine, but again, if you're level 50, at least the stuff you buy is at level cap, so that's always a good thing. And again, I would hold off doing the big Encore and spending any Iridium unless you just want to try one or two, but I wouldn't spend much until you're level 50 because if you do get a good drop, again, you might outlevel it. So again, that's my reasoning for being level 50 being so important because so much else, the drops, the loot, and the build kind of comes together once you're 50 and doing a bunch of stuff and getting things that are under 50 are going to kind of only be partially good till you're actually maxed out. Now, I'm going to put this at the end, but just a piece of advice. If you've been leveling up and you're like, I think I might want to start another character, the amount of stuff that carries over to your other character is not much. You're going to have to go through and do so many more of your challenges, unlocking the ultimate vault hunter tiers, going through and finding your vault fragments and opening your vaults and doing so many side quests and everything that like finding your safe houses. You have to do so much on your next character. I'm actually not that incentivized right now. Hopefully later on they make it to where like, hey, if you've unlocked all this stuff on one character, most of it's unlocked on the other character. Like side quests are one thing, but like give me faction towns, give me my SDU points that I've unlocked. Like if I've maxed all this out on one character, I don't want to do it all again. So just be aware. And if maybe the character that you took through the campaign, you're like, I don't know if I love that character. When you finish the campaign, you can start other characters, or it might be like when you hit level 30. But once you're at 30, I know you can make other characters that start with some basic gear. You'll have some skill points that you can use, and you'll have some basic gear. Try them out and tinker with them a little bit. Maybe you find a character that you like a whole bunch more than you played through the campaign, but at least that way, before you start doing every map check marker, vault fragment, leveling up on all that stuff, find the character that you really want to spend time on for a while, because until they change that quality of life, the time change to get that next character up to where your first one might be if you max it out, it's going to be a while. It's going to be very time consuming. So that's just my piece of advice. If you don't mind doing all that stuff again, that's totally fine, but that's up to you. But just wanted to let you know, not much carries over at all to that next character you create. You just get like some basic gear, some skill points, and you're level 30, but man, do you have so much stuff to catch up on again. So just be aware. Maybe at that point when you're 30 and you can make that new character, that's the time to test everybody else out, see if you find one that you really like. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck for a while. So just figured I'd give you a heads up. I think that kind of covers it good, though. Get to level 50 as quick as you can. I mean, my advice is doing those bounties, honestly, because they're quick and easy. And it's a fun way to teleport around the map and fight some groups of enemies and bosses. And, you know, you'll get to see plenty of stuff as you go. Then as you're working on the ultimate vault hunter, you know, hey, I need to go to this area. Okay, what SDU things can I do along the way? There's a vault symbol, there's a propaganda speaker, there's stuff I can do as I work my way up to, you know, this like Bramble Song area. I could do this stuff along the way. That's when I would recommend doing those things. Once you're 50, you're working on Ultimate Vault Hunter, working on your SDU points, all of that stuff. If you get a cool drop anywhere in there, it's all keepable at that point. And then once you're at Ultimate Vault Hunter, then you can really do your farming. Once you're at 50 at least, make sure you do your weekly activities at least once, if not have some fun farming. Just, I wouldn't, you know, blow through a whole bunch of Eridium at level 45 on the big Encore for no reason, though. Be careful about that. And other than that, you got a ton of stuff to do. There's tons of side quests. The ones that I did do as I was playing through the campaign, I didn't do a lot of them, but the ones I did were funny. They were kind of cool. They were different experiences. So there's a lot to do in the game, even once you beat the campaign. And then getting to level 50, refining that build, getting that ultimate, just absolutely boss nuking loadout, you'll get there. It's just going to take you some time. But if you are not sure you love your character, you know, finish the campaign and then figure out before you spend too much time doing all the other stuff. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like below, leave a comment if you got questions, thoughts, opinions, anything that I forgot, please comment below and I'll try and, you know, either pin it together or highlight those as well. If you want to find me, it's Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. Like, subscribe, follow, find me on Patreon, wherever. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for the support as always. And good luck farming and making those god builds. Have fun, everybody.